We go over today's do now, I would like to access what it is we know about expanding brackets, which is chapter 15. As we've learned, everything inside the brackets
is multiplied by what's outside the brackets.
Perfect. So everything inside the brackets is multiplied by what's before the brackets. So what's going to go in this blank space?
5.
Exactly. It's going to be a 5. And one technique I suggest you use to help minimize errors is to use what? Arrows. To remind us, 5 times 6 plus 5 times 8. And when we're simplifying, Kieran, what do you do first? Multiply or add?
Multiply.
Right. 5 times 6 gives us the 30 plus the 5 times 8, which is 40. That gives us 70. So let's just look at a few examples of problem types that are fair game when it comes to expanding brackets. If you'd like to use the arrows, please do. To remind yourself that I'm going to multiply everything inside the brackets by what, Scarlett? Exactly. What's outside the brackets? The 2, that's right. So, let's go ahead. Jazz, help us out here. What's going to be left when we expand the brackets?
2x.
Yep. Plus?
2y.
You got it. 2x plus 2y. Everything in there was positive. Now the next one, Sam, please fill in the blank for me. Everything inside the brackets.
Multiply before what's outside the bracket.
Good. So what's going to be the first piece that we'll have, Sam?
9p.
Exactly. The 9 times the p gives us, as Sam correctly stated, 9p. So the next thing I'm going to multiply the 9 by is what, Hugo?
8.
Is it a p?
It's a negative.
It's a negative p. Let's make sure we pay attention to those signs. So 9 times the negative q is going to give us what, Henry?
Minus negative 9q.
Minus 9q. Minus 9q. Okay, the next one, number 4. If you want to use the brackets and the arrows, use them. It helps us to see what we have to multiply. Eloise, can you expand that one for us, please?
Negative 3x plus 3y.
Negative 3x, negative times a positive, it'd be minus 3y. Now, when we've got a minus 1 outside the brackets, same thing. Jack, fill in the blank. Everything inside the brackets
Multiplied by what's in front of the bracket.
multiplied by what's in front of the brackets. So the first thing the negative 1 gets multiplied by is the a. Lillian, what's negative 1 times a? Negative 1a. Negative 1a. And if you left the 1 there, it's not wrong, but mostly in algebra, you're going to see it just be negative a. Next, we are going to multiply the negative 1 by what, Tate? And what is negative 1 times b?
1 negative.
Positive or negative? That's right. Negative times a positive gives me minus 1b. So the best answer I would say would be negative a minus b. Let's try the next one. Jackie, everything inside the brackets. Fill in the blank for me.
Multiplied by what's outside the bracket.
There you go. So what's the first thing the negative 2 gets multiplied by, Jackie?
Times x.
Yep. What's next? Negative 2 times?
Times y.
Good. And then lastly?
Minus x.
Good. Now let's pay attention to what we're multiplying by what? Hugo, what's negative 2 times x?
Negative 2x.
Good. Negative 2x. The next part, Tori, what's negative 2 times y?
It's negative 2y.
Good. So minus 2y. David, what is negative 2 times negative z?
Negative 2.
What's a negative times a negative? Yeah, so it's going to be plus 2z. Okay, next one, Natasha. Can you help us out with number 7? Just go ahead and do the whole thing for us.
2 times x
Good. 2 times x is 2x.
Is 2x, and 2 times 3
Very good.
is 6.
Exactly. So the 2 times x, and then the 2 times 3, we get 2x plus.
6.
Very good. Now, one of the most common errors that I see is a failure to multiply the last piece by the 2. That's where the arrows make it less likely for you to do so. Molly, can you help us out with number 8 here, please?
Negative 3 times 2x.
Good. We'll have negative 3 times 2x, which is
Negative 6x.
excellent. Negative 6x. Next.
And then that being minus negative 12. Oh no, minus 12.
Okay, just minus 12. Excellent job. And the last one, so this one, number 9, is very, very similar to problem 5. But instead of there being a 1 there, this is the same thing. And this is going to be seen regularly. And it has shown itself to be a bit of a problem. But just think of it just like number 5. Lily, what are we going to have when we... What's the first thing I'm going to multiply the 4x by?
Negative sign.
Yeah, and you could think of it as a negative 1, but it's probably not going to be written there. What's a negative times a positive, Lily?
Negative.
Good. So negative 4x. And Shelley, what's a negative times a negative?
Positive.
That's right. So that negative 9 becomes what?
Plus 9.
A plus 9. So there's a little bit of revision for us on expansion.